Hi, it's Pastor Paul L. Anderson here at the Fountain of Raleigh Fellowship, where we believe God's blessings never stop flowing. Oh, today is Wednesday. It's Worshipful Wednesday. It is that time during the week that we thank the Lord for the wonderful ways He's blessed us. We're right at the middle of the week. We have to look back and see where He's brought us from and focus on today and realize today is all we have. That's what is called the present. And tomorrow we know is always before us. So let's make sure we do the best we can and give God all the glory, the honor, and the praise, because indeed He is worthy. And let's encourage one another. Today I ask that you look with me into the Gospel according to St. John, the 6th chapter, verses 41 through 51, the New Living Translation, a message that I've entitled Bread from Heaven, Bread from Heaven. Our text finds itself that in this Gospel of St. John, that the people begin to murmur and they are in disagreement with what has been said when Jesus tells them that I am the bread that came down from heaven. And the first thing they say to him is that you can't be the bread from heaven. They said, isn't this Jesus, the son of Joseph? We know his father and his mother. How can he say I came down from heaven? Well, see, right there, it helps us to see that the people were focusing more in the natural as opposed to understanding in the spirit what God was doing and what God had done. Secondly, we find out that Jesus replied to them and he said, stop complaining about what I said. Well, it's very interesting that these people are very similar to the Israelites who were complaining about all the thing that God had done for them and always found something to complain about. You know, sometimes you and I are like that. Even in the midst of God blessing us, we can oftentimes find things to complain about. But he says, stop complaining, for no one can say they have come to me unless the Father who sent me draws them to me. And at that last day, I will raise them up. As it is written in the scriptures, they were taught by God. Everyone who is listening to the Father learns from him who comes to me. Now, as Jesus begins to speak to them, they realize that everybody who listens to the Father, they learn from him who comes to Jesus. Now, those who were with Jesus were those who were close to the Father. Those the ones who were with Jesus were the ones who were sticking close to him because they realized he was telling the truth. Jesus lets them know that I'm telling you the truth, that anyone who believes in me will have eternal life. Yes, I am the bread of life. It is amazing that he begins to remind them, their ancestors, when God gave them manna from heaven, they complained about that. They complained day in, day out. We're tired of manna. Then God had to do something else for them. But Jesus reminding them, just as you were not ready to receive that manna, many of you are not ready to receive who I am. But Jesus lets them know, all of those who were your ancestors who ate that manna, they died in the wilderness. But anyone who eats from this bread from heaven will never die, because Jesus is the bread of life. Anyone who eats of his teaching, anyone who eats of the bread that he offers, that person will never perish. That person will have eternal life because he is the bread that is offered to the world that everyone may live. And Jesus lets all of us know that he is the bread of heaven. Today, all of us, let's focus on that true bread from heaven. We remember the Old Testament, the Israelites, and those who were on their way to the promised land. They had manna, bread that God sent down from heaven. But then in the New Testament, we find out we get the living bread, Jesus the Christ, the bread of heaven that came to give the world just what we need. And that was bread from heaven. Today, I hope and pray that you have sat at the table and that you have feasted on that bread from heaven, Jesus the Christ, all of his teachings, all of the wonderful examples that he gives to us. And if you eat of that bread, you never grow hungry again, nor will you ever get thirsty. May God bless you. May heaven smile upon you, because you are exceedingly and abundantly blessed. And this year of 2022, God has a special blessing in store for you. We'll see you on tomorrow.
To sow a seed to the Fountain of Raleigh Fellowship, visit our newly redesigned website, thefountainofraleigh.org, and select Sow a Seed from the homepage. Also, giving has been made easier with the new Fountain of Raleigh app, available now in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. Download today, select Giving from the main menu, and then follow the directions to complete your giving through Subsplash.
Thank you so very much for all of your gifts and donations that you've given to the Fountain of Raleigh Fellowship. We thank you for what you've done in the past, what you're currently doing, and what you will do in the future. Your gifts and donations helps us to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ, not only locally, but throughout the world. Thank you again for your gifts, and may God continue to richly bless you. It is here at the Fountain that we believe that we are exceedingly and abundantly blessed, and may you receive those blessings that God has in store for you.